I remember staring at the screen. Her post sat there, smiling, holding keys like she'd won the lottery. And in a way, she had. My lottery. I didn't comment, didn't call, didn't even blink. I just kept reading the caption over and over until the words started to lose shape. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving me my first house. My first thought wasn't disbelief, it was recognition. They'd finally crossed the line I'd been pretending didn't exist for years. 3 years. 3 years of covering their rent when Dad couldn't work and Mom was between jobs. 3 years of saying, "It's fine, I've got it," even when my own account was scraping bottom. When I finally saved enough for a down payment, it wasn't for me, it was for them. A little stability. A roof they wouldn't have to worry about losing. The closing day was quiet. I signed the papers, put the deed in their hands. Mom hugged me tight, whispering, "We'll never forget this." Dad's voice cracked when he said, "We're so proud of you." I believed them. Now I know pride can be faked. Gratitude, too. Because 1 week later, my sister, the golden one, posted that photo. The one that told me the house I bought wasn't mine anymore. It was hers. I didn't ask questions. Questions give people time to build lies. Instead, I started collecting facts. County property records are public. It took less than 10 minutes to confirm the deed had been transferred. No sale, no mortgage. Just a gift from my parents to her. I called my bank, checked every payment I'd ever made. Every cent was mine. Every document had my name on it. Until it didn't. I sat with it for a week. Not angry, not crying, just quiet. Because I knew something they didn't. In their rush to give her my gift, they'd made one mistake. A fatal one. See, I didn't just buy the house, I paid the taxes up front. And I never took my name off the insurance. Technically, my name was still on the title history as grantor, and the insurance still listed me as the sole point of contact, which meant the house wasn't untouchable. The plan came together in layers. First, I paid a visit to the insurance company, told them I wanted to update my coverage, better protection, higher premiums. They were happy to oblige. Then, I quietly switched the mailing address for all policy documents to my apartment. Second, I filed a formal complaint with the county's assessor's office, questioning the legality of the gift transfer. The process would be slow, but that was fine. Slow meant my parents and sister wouldn't suspect anything, until it hit. The final piece was delicate. My sister had no idea how to handle homeownership. The lawn started to grow wild. She left trash cans on the curb for days. So I called the HOA, anonymously. Every violation stacked fines on the property. Fines she thought were my parents' problem. Fines my parents thought were hers. In reality, they were mine. By the end of month 3, the house was bleeding money. The HOA was threatening legal action. The insurance premiums had tripled because of risk factors, and the county had frozen the title transfer pending review of my complaint. That's when I called a meeting. Living room, Sunday afternoon. They were all there, Mom, Dad, and my sister, perched on the couch like a queen. The tension was thick enough to taste. I slid a manila envelope across the coffee table. Inside, copies of every document, every payment I'd made, every fine they'd racked up, and a formal letter from my lawyer. "You have 2 choices," I said, calm as a surgeon. 1, sign the house back to me. Today. 2, I let the county void the transfer, foreclose on the unpaid fines, and take the house entirely. My sister laughed first. "You wouldn't!" I cut her off. I would, and I'd still sleep fine. Dad tried to reason, but his voice wavered. Mom started to cry. I just sat there, watching them realize they'd underestimated me. It took them all of 20 minutes to fold. Signatures on the papers, title back in my name. I didn't gloat, didn't yell, but when my sister stormed out, slamming the door, I let myself smile. The next day, I sold the house. Cash offer. Closed in 2 weeks. I didn't tell them until the moving trucks pulled up. Mom called, begging to stay just a little longer. Dad tried guilt, reminding me of everything they'd done for me. I let their words wash over me like static. They taught me something valuable. Love without respect isn't love at all. And trust, once broken, never repairs. When I walked away from that house for the last time, I felt lighter. Not because I'd won, because I'd stopped playing their game. They lost the roof I gave them. I gained the freedom they'd been costing me for years. And that, to me, was worth far more than any house.